traffic lights and ran coverage at Bears, Naudea and CR Swat. Vangeli Nzuza will have your next Eyewitness News traffic update just after 3.
Hear that? That's the welcoming sound of money. No, not the money you paid for your property. The money you made from selling it. If you just sold your property and need the money today, Lamna can bridge you with a short-term advance. It's the fastest way to access money. Apply online now at lamna.co.za. That's lamna.co.za. T's and C's apply.
Customers are searching for you on the internet. Believe it or not, there are 5.6 billion searches on Google per day. And at this very moment, there is a customer searching for your exact product or service. Guess who's getting their business? Not you. In this day and age, you need a website and professional email address. You needed one the day you started your business. Google CV Host for help. That's SIVE Host.
That's Harold's Net Florist Hotline. Lily on the line.
Harold, Father's Day last year was such a trauma.
Grab a tissue. Someone's got daddy issues.
Back then, I identified as non-gift buying.
The poor man.
Nope, he identified as Wi-Fi password fluid. I literally died.
If only that were true.
What?
Nothing. Just spoiled dad with a lovely surprise from Net Florist. First 1,000 orders get a free lunch chocky. You'd be nuttier than squirrel poo not to. Non-triggering smooches. Net Florist. It's easy to show you keys.
Unlock your dream car at the Motor Select year-end demo clearance sale. With over 1,000 demo vehicles on motorselect.co.za, you'll find unbeatable deals on brands like Toyota, VW, Renault, Kia, Merc, Audi, and more. Find your dream car on motorselect.co.za today. Motor Select, that's MOTUS.
The Money Show.
Weekday evenings at 6.
Next time on The Money Show, personal finance expert and co-founder at Galileo Capital, Warren Ingram, how to protect yourself from panic in markets. Lutendo Windingwe, the founding director of Tribe Africa Advisory, is the latest big Africa business stories, plus, of course, any other tales that you need to know from the elections, their aftermath, of the future of the country.
The Money Show.
Bruce Whitfield on 702.
702.
Let's walk the talk.
The Money Show with Bruce Whitfield on 702 is proudly brought to you by ABSA CIB. As the recent winners at the 2024 Digital Banker CX Awards, ABSA CIB continually strives to provide innovative digital trade and cash management solutions to progress their clients' business stories across the continent. Your story matters. ABSA is a registered FSB.
702.
Coming up at 5:10.
The newsmaker of the day.
With John Coleman.
702 Drive is coming up from 3 to 6 p.m. with John Pullman. John, what's happening on your show today?
Very good afternoon to Lynnwood. Good afternoon to all of our listeners. So, obviously, we are covering the coalition conversations. We'll be getting updates, we hope, on some of the stuff that's being discussed within the ANC. And then we're going to ask this question, Lynnwood. A lot of the conversation is about how certain kinds of coalitions, particularly the ANC and DA is one that's in focus, will be good for the economy. We're going to take a step back and ask this question. What exactly does good for the economy mean? Because if it's to say, let's keep the economy going as it is, some people who are amongst the 42% of unemployed would say, well, that's not very good for us. Cost of living issues and many others. So we're going to take a deep dive into that after 5 o'clock and really step back rather from the who of the coalitions and focus more on the what. Well, if this is to be a coalition driving for economic improvements, what is the what? What is it that we would actually expect them to do rather than to say, well, stability is an end in itself? Public Protector has produced a report on GBV and what government is and isn't doing about that. We'll talk about that after 4 o'clock. One of the biggest wine competitions in South Africa is called the Investec Wine Trophy Show. They've produced their results. I think they should be out already. It's a fabulous competition. And we'll talk to the head of the judges of that, Michael Fridjon, at 10 to 4, not just about the winning wines, but more importantly, what the entries and the standard says about the state of this very interesting and all-important industry. And speaking of agriculture, the GDP figures are not good, but agriculture's done really well, up 13.5% over the last quarter. What's been going on? What's agribusiness doing that they need to do more of if we are to keep creating jobs and wealth?
Thank you so much. That's 702 Drive with John Perlman coming through from 3 to 6 p.m.
702.
Series edition.
As we wrap up our series, we're going to have to pause on the timeline. The car feature still will be coming up ahead. So send through all your car questions on 0727021702 as Nicole stands by. We have been speaking in our series edition, the current unemployment crisis. This is episode 1 with Andrew Levy, a labor economist. And we paused at 2010 as we were discussing when things started to go wrong. But prior to that, and I do really hope, Andrew, you'll be available for us next week, as there are so many questions that had come through, without us even getting a chance to wrap up the timeline. The understanding of what South Africans believe as employment, are we accurate? Are we realistic in our conversations? And I'll give an example where somebody in the WhatsApp line is referring to our porous borders. And I'm wondering if they see what some of those low wage paying illegal employment work is the type of work that they consider is keeping them unemployed. So when we have conversations around employment, I don't consider myself employed because of the nature of the industry that I'm in. I can't go to the CCMA for many issues.
Well, in point of fact, you might well be able to go to the CCMA, and employers like to tell their employees that they are not employees, they are independent contractors.
Yes.
Because if you're an independent contractor, then labour law doesn't apply. And if labour law doesn't apply, it won't protect you. Now, to decide whether you personally, for example, and I do understand the nature of the industry.
Medical evaluation. 44-year-old Grayson Beer made his first court appearance in the Durban Magistrates Court earlier today. It's understood he attacked the family of 4 at their home on Sunday and wounded the husband and son. Authorities say he was arrested at the scene in possession of a blood-stained knife and has been charged with murder and 2 counts of attempted murder. Here's KZN National Prosecuting Authority spokesperson Natasha Ramkinson-Kara.
The matter was remanded to the 11th of June 2024 for bail investigation and for the accused to undergo mental assessment. The state is opposed to bail.
We shift our focus to this now. 5 of the 10 manufacturing divisions in the country recorded negative growth in the first quarter of the year. This has been revealed by Stats SA, which released the first quarter GDP figures earlier today. According to the latest figures, South Africa's economy contracted by 0.1% during the period under review. This followed a revised 0.3% increase in the fourth quarter of 2023. Manufacturing, mining and construction were some of the largest negative contributors to growth in the GDP. Statistician General Ruzenga Maluleke says the automotive sector was the largest negative contributor.
Utilities in the form of electricity, gas and water, particularly electricity. In the first quarter, we hadn't gone out of load shedding yet, so we have seen a negative growth in the form of electricity.
And in some good news for Gautrain commuters, technicians have now managed to fix a glitch in the system, which resulted in delayed services this morning. Passengers were left frustrated due to delays of up to 1 hour. The entity says its track circuit experienced challenges which affected operations on the north to south line. Spokesperson Kisaki Naiga.
We wish to use this opportunity to once again apologize to our customers for the inconvenience caused by the delay this morning, and we thank them for their support and look forward to having them back on board.
Gold is trading at $2,346.05 an ounce. The rand is at 18.51 to the dollar, 23.70 to the pound, 20.18 to the euro, and Brent crude oil is at $76.86 a barrel.
As we just heard there from Baligamini in the news, the train update, or the train has been updated, so please continue using that service, especially if you're going to be heading towards the airport. So the airport line not delayed at all, it was not affected, so please do not be anxious about that, but there are now good operations in that part. So back to the roads, a bit of a delay naturally, as you find at this time in Sandton, Greyston Drive eastbound to the M1 highway, Big Auckland.